Learning about the art of writing doesn't have to be all so serious and drab and boring. On the contrary, it can be so much fun, interesting, and even entertaining. What if the writing lessons are given to you by one of the best known master storytellers, not just of India, but all across the world? I'm talking about none other than Mr. Ruskin Bond, and today I'm going to review How to Be a Writer by Ruskin Bond. I'm going to show you the cover of the book, How to Be a Writer by Mr. Ruskin Bond. Guys, before I begin the review, I just want to give a bit of a brief about my channel to those of you who are visiting here for the first time. First of all, thank you so much for clicking on this video and visiting my channel. I have been making so many different series about how to be a writer, how to start writing, how to write a poetry book, and then I've been reviewing Mr. Ruskin Bond's books. In the coming time, I'll be reviewing books by other writers as well. So do check out all the videos. There is a series, there are many videos in Hindi as well, and please do subscribe to the channel. Now coming back to the book, How to Be a Writer by Ruskin Bond. This is a fairly recent book of Mr. Bond. In fact, it was published last year in 2020. So let's check out the cover of the book. As you can see, the color combination, the color scheme, everything is so perfect, and there's an illustration of the good old-fashioned typewriter towards the bottom of the book. The back cover has the same kind of illustration of the typewriter on the bottom of the book, and there's a cup as well. It can be a cup of tea or coffee. It depends on your imagination and what you prefer as a writer. Now moving on to the book, although it's intended for young readers, I think, but it's applicable to people across all age groups. I think it works very well for people across all age groups, especially if you are beginners in writing. But I think no matter what stage of writing you are at, you can still get some valuable tips and advice from this book. Now, the best thing I like about this book, what I love about this book, is the language. The language is very lucid. It's written in very simple language, short sentences, and conversational tone, that kind of animated writing style. And it is something which can be understood by everybody, no matter what your background in English is like. So even if you're a beginner or intermediary in English language, you can still read this book and get the gist of what it's trying to say. Even if you're writing in other languages, in Hindi or other regional languages, you can still get the main points of the book, and they can be applicable to your writing no matter what language you're writing in. Then another thing that I love about this book is the way it has something like an introduction, and in the beginning of the book only this introduction is there, where Ruskin Bond is talking about his own experiences as a writer, how he started writing. He's talking about his own process of writing. I think that's a beautiful part of this book, because that gives a human element to it, rather than having just a drab kind of a technical thing about how to make sentences to become a good writer and all that kind of stuff. It is giving you a peep into a writer's lifestyle. It is giving you a peep into the background story of a writer, what makes writers, what kind of world the writers live in, what the practical challenges writers face in day-to-day scenarios. So I think this human element makes the book more interesting. And it's not just in the introduction, but throughout the book, Ruskin Bond is giving examples from his own life, anecdotal evidence, his own writing process he's talking about. So I think that makes the book different from your usual how to write book, because there's so much of a human touch in his writing and in his advice. And then the book has these different sections and really short sections, why to write, why do people like to write, how to write, obviously, and then different kinds of writing. And it has these little neat sections with headings, which makes it easier for you to process the information. And as I said, especially for people who are learning English is not that good, this kind of style, this kind of making it into different sections makes it very easy for you to understand. And one advice that I love from this book, and I don't remember all the points, but he's saying, that there are, I think, 8 or 9 points he's mentioning, which are essential characteristics of a writer, which are prerequisites for becoming a writer. And I remember 3, he's saying you need a love for language, a love for life, and love for books. And then I think it's enthusiasm you need, and perseverance, and there are a couple of others. But this thing which strikes you is that he thinks that a love for life is a very important prerequisite for becoming a good writer. This is an important point which most of us miss. In fact, a lot of us seems to think that writing is something which is disconnected from life. Writers live in their own ivory tower and they do not give that much importance to their life. But Ruskin Bond, in fact, asserts that life, a passion for life, love for life is very important for your writing process, and that's something of a unique discovery for all of us writers. In fact, he says that a very tangible physical emotion accompanies the process of writing. Just like you have this physical emotion, intense emotion, you experience when you play a musical instrument, or you're singing, or you're dancing, or you're practicing any art form. A similar kind of intense physical emotion you experience while undertaking the process of writing. So this is, I think, something which is so beautifully explored and beautifully put, that writing doesn't take you away from life. In fact, it celebrates life. And he says further on in the book that the moment you start considering your own writing boring, you should be alarmed. If you don't like what you're writing, if you don't feel passionately about what you're writing, then how do you expect others to like your writing and fall in love with it? Another thing about the book, How to Be a Writer, is that whatever he says, whatever advice Mr. Ruskin Bond gives, it's constantly, thoroughly interspersed with examples of different works of master storytellers. He's named so many writers here, be it Charles Dickens, Jane Austen, or Faulkner. So many different writers. You find their names and their famous works. You also find descriptions of some of the famous works which Ruskin Bond is trying to give to illustrate the points he's making about how to be a good writer. So this works again in terms of obviously illustrating his points better, but it also works at the level of increasing your knowledge about the master storytellers of English language. So this is one reason why you should read this book. It will really increase your knowledge about a lot of English writers and give you a great reading list as well. Now coming to the advice part, the advice which he gives to writers, a couple of things in brief which I really loved. The first advice is that he says that every writer should keep a writing notebook handy, because an idea can strike you anytime. An idea doesn't knock your door and inform you that, hey, I'm coming. It can just strike you anytime, catch you unawares. So no matter where you are, what you are doing, you need to have a writing notebook handy so that you can jot down any ideas, anything, any random thoughts that come to your head. The book says that a writer's notebook is essential. It's a prerequisite if you want to write long term and if you want to become a successful writer. So that is one thing I loved about the book. The second tip that he gives is that when you are beginning to write fiction, whether it's a novel or a short story, then he gives this advice to writers that you should always base your story in a setting which you're familiar with. He advises, in fact, writers to keep the setting as a hometown or something because you're familiar with the place. He warns that if you keep the setting unfamiliar, if you try to write stories about faraway lands we haven't been to, then your story might just fall all over the place. It might be confusing. You might not be able to develop the plot that well. And then he also gives examples of writers who have based the stories in particular settings that have become the hallmark of their writing. And then he has this very interesting take on reality and fantasy. The book advises writers that you should try and base your characters, your plots from real life circumstances, from your own real life experiences. Obviously, imagination plays a role. You do not put your real life experiences as it is. Your imagination changes, transforms those experiences, plays around with those. But if you have your real life experiences as the base, then you won't falter, especially as a beginner in writing. And the book says that fantasy is welcome too in writing. But then again, fantasy also has to be rooted in a strong socio-cultural context, in a realistic context. It cannot be fantasy out of the blue somewhere. And I think this is a very valid lesson for beginners in writing, because a lot of us young writers, especially, we tend to get carried away by this whole thing about experimenting and fantasy and make-believe and trying out new crazy random eccentric things in our writing, and we just do get carried away too much by the experimental stuff, and then that can make our writing lose its meaning and soul. So I think for that kind of thing, how to be a writer and this whole thing about reality and fantasy that the book says is a kind of a wake-up call. So it's a beautiful book, How to Be a Writer, as I said, for writers across all age groups, for writers at all stages. Do take a look. The book is also available on Amazon, I think. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. Do subscribe to my channel.